There are some stories that are so good, you're just like... My name is Dorian, this is SCM Comics. We continue our coverage of Hox and Pox with House of X, number 4. So I almost didn't even want to start off with this page, because if you're a X-Men fan, especially like an old school X-Men fan, then you know about this. But just in case for people that are kind of like brand new, because this might be your first video, these are two big examples of why mutants are the redheaded stepchild of the Marvel Universe. You have Genosha, where 16.5 million mutants were killed by the Wild Sentinels, and Cassandra Nova. I know all you Deadpool Wolverine fans are like, don't forget about Cassandra Nova. Yes, she was a big part of it. Then you had the Scarlet Witch, who was considered a mutant at the time, and then she's not a mutant, but I still feel like she is. Pretty much took out the majority of the mutant population's powers, only leaving 198 of them with their powers intact. With no powers, a lot of them died horrible deaths. It was crazy. And just to remind you guys that not only did she take out 98% of the mutant population's powers in the 616, but she did it across the multiverse. So yeah, certified beast. Put a stamp on it. Not Beast Hank McCoy, like her powers are like beastly. You know what, let's just move on. So the story starts off at Krakoa, and you got Magneto and you got Professor Xavier. There was Storm, one of the Stepford Cuckoos, and Beast is there, and they're trying to get communications to the X-Men that are in space, who just got blown up. You see, what they're doing is they're having the Stepford Cuckoos like help out Beast and Storm, who don't have telepathy, combined with Professor Xavier, so that they can all talk to Jean, who is on the ship. So Professor Xavier is asking Jean what the situation is, and she's like, it is bad. Archangel and Husk are dead, so that means those two got clapped before they even got off the ship. Nightcrawler got some kind of internal injury. Wolverine, if he didn't have an adamantium skeleton, he wouldn't have a left arm. So Magneto, who also has a Stepford Cuckoo next to him, was like, can you finish the mission? Jean's like, I don't think we can. Scott's like, oh no, we're finishing this mission. And Wolverine chimes in and is like, we gotta finish this mission. Either we get them or they get us. So Scott right there comes up with a plan. Pretty much he's gonna have Nightcrawler take him, Wolverine, and Mystique to the different control panels that's holding the mother mold, and he wants Jean and Monet to stay on the ship for communication purposes. So now we cut to inside the station, where Dr. Gregor is freaking out about her husband, who pretty much just committed suicide to try to stop the X-Men, and Omega Sentinel standing there, and she's pretty much like, are you gonna cry about this, or are you gonna do something about it? So she finally gathers herself, and she tells the new captain, whoever he is, that she has a plan. So as she's going over said plan with the captain, all you hear is Kergung, Kergung. If you want to know what that is 2 of the 4 collars that's holding the mother mold were released. And the 2 people that got it done is Wolverine with a whole bunch of dead Orchis agents around him, and Nightcrawler, who just tied up 2 scientists, it looks like, and pulled a lever. So Jean and Monet are pretty much keeping everybody at Krakoa up to date with what's going on. All of a sudden, all you hear is this sawing noise, and the Orchis agents are now trying to get into the ship. So Monet takes Jean, puts her into this escape pod. Jean's like, are you coming? She's like, somebody gotta hold these dudes off. And Jean's like, well, it's gonna be really hard for me to keep communications over with Krakoa when it's both of us doing it at the same time. And Monet is like, well, looks like you're just gonna have to be Marvel Girl, and you're gonna have to try harder. And she hits the button, Jean escapes, the Orchis agents are now in, and then Monet, she transforms into Penance and lets them know that, whew, you guys bit off way more than you can chew, and start slicing and dicing. So then we cut to Cyclops, who's taking no prisoners either, as he is taking out everybody with his optical blast. He pulls down on his lever, and we have her Kerkunk. He's like, all right, all that leaves is Mystique. Mystique, you there? And she's like, stop screaming in my head, Summers. I'm here. I got turned around, but I'm on my way there. But as she turns around, she sees Omega Sentinel and Dr. Gregor just standing there. Dr. Gregor hits a button, and she opens up the airlock, and Mystique gets sucked out into space. Horrible way to die. So then Dr. Gregor tells the stand-in captain that she has the last control collar secured to send the team to help her. She turns to Omega Sentinel and lets her know that she's going to turn on the mother mold. And Omega Sentinel's like, oh, time out. We haven't fully got tested as yet. Like, if we turn it on now, it can be insane. And she was like, well, I'm gonna have to take that chance because my husband didn't die for nothing. So there's like a 30-second countdown going on. Jean is pretty much using all of her mental ability to the point to where she's bleeding from her nose, and it just looks bad because they're not going to be able to get to that last control collar. So the mother mode is pretty much starting to turn on. All of a sudden you hear, Scott, we can get there. And it's Nightcrawler and Wolverine. Now, they understand that this is a suicide mission. They are really, really, really close to the sun. That's why it's so bright. Their plan is to have Nightcrawler bamf him out and Wolverine cut the control collar with his claws. They are not going to make it. It's not only close to the sun, but they're in space and they don't have spacesuits. So yes, this is a suicide mission. And all you hear is a bamf. So now it smells like farts. But it don't smell like farts outside the space station because Nightcrawler and that bamf are incinerated damn near instantly. And the only why Wolverine's hanging on is because of his healing factor, his adamantium skeleton, which you can see right now because, you know, he's pretty much burning. So the mother mode realizes what's going on and it's trying to fight back. It's sending some kind of straps to go around Wolverine's left hand, but Wolverine is the best at what he does, and what he does is not very nice to Sentinels. So he slashes one more time, breaks the control collar, and him and the mother mode are now on a collision course for the sun. Horrible way to die. Horrible. So Scott sees exactly what happens and he goes, bravest man I know. And then lets Professor Xavier know exactly what happened and that the mission is now complete. So Scott's plan is to get a spacesuit and get to Jean because her escape pod is floating out there. Use his power to push them towards Earth. And Jean's like, that plan is half-baked as hell and probably won't survive re-entry. And Scott's like, what else we got? We got nothing else. But we don't get anything close to that plan because as Scott is running, he is shot in the back. So Omega Sentinel is the one that shot Scott in the back. And then Dr. Gregor comes out with her cosmic shotgun and pretty much is like, yeah, we ain't taking no prisoners. And shoots Scott in the head. I mean, obliterated his head. Dead. Dead. So as Jean is screaming no, she ain't got a lot of time to grieve because all these worker sentinels come out of nowhere, grab her escape pod, and pretty much start destroying it with her in it. So the mission was a complete success, and there were no survivors whatsoever. And Professor Xavier is just standing there, and he's like, no more. No more, no more, no more. If you're enjoying what we're doing on this channel and you want to help out, you can give us a super thanks. I'm sorry. Thank you. Who does all the work here? I hate to agree with Saucy Red over there, but he's right. We do all the work. Thanking the channel is also thanking you too, because you're part of the channel.
Do you know how many Marvel videos are on this channel? Like, I built this as you guys bring back DC, we're over 1,000. It's a channel that I'm better than that punk. I am better than that punk over there.
If anybody should be getting
over there,
thanks,
but
your boy,
I should be getting the super thanks, not him.